This is an agency's guide to automation. In this video, I'm going to be going over why you should use automation, how to actually figure out what you need to automate in your agency, how to actually automate those different things the right way, and an easy way to actually integrate automation within your day-to-day life seamlessly. This is the plan for the video. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Leo. I'm the CEO and founder of Fluxomate, an operation agency that focuses on helping agency owners set up scale-proof systems. Automation plays a massive role in what we do over here at Fluxomate, and I've personally seen the impact it's literally had on people's lives. And if you watch until the end, you'll be able to get an understanding of how you can actually use automation to get started on your journey to achieving a scale-proof agency. Don't want to take too much of your time, so let's get straight into it. If you're new to the channel, be ready to get a full solution to a massive problem in your life from a random guy in an orange hoodie. Let's get straight into it, guys. Alright, guys, so like I said in the introduction, today we're going to be focused on four main things. Firstly, why you should actually use automation. Secondly, how to find out what you should actually automate within your agency. Thirdly, how to actually automate the different ideas we come up with in the previous stage. And lastly, I'm going to show you how you can actually time automation within your day-to-day life for your agency. The first thing I want to talk about is why you should actually use automation within your day-to-day processes and throughout your entire agency. And for this, we want to go back to the actual definition of automation. Automation is a use of technology to perform tasks with minimal human intervention. Now, automation has been around for a very, very long time, but it became very, very popular in the 20th century during the Industrial Revolution when Henry Ford actually put together an assembly line for the automotive industry. So car manufacturing. This is very, very different to what we are doing in 2024, using different tools in Zapier and Make to automate different processes. But the concept is exactly the same because at the end of the day, all we're doing is we're taking a process, breaking it down to its core, and using technology to increase the efficiency, increase the speed, reduce the human effort, and reduce potential for errors within the actual process. Now, I could make a whole 5-hour video talking about all the different benefits of automation, but in this video, to try and encourage you to actually get started with automation, I'm only going to talk about 3 of the main benefits that you can actually achieve from implementing some sort of automation within your agency. The first benefit is savings. Now, this can be in the form of time savings and money savings, but in reality, both of them are very, very connected. And this is probably the starting point of where most people actually get an initial interest for automation. In my opinion, these two benefits I'm about to talk about in a second will probably give you more return on your investment. However, the time savings and money savings are great, and it's actually what we actually guarantee as part of our offer because a lot of people get interested by that. And I'll give you an example of what these time savings can actually look like. So let's say you have a low ticket program or a coaching offer, and it takes you about half an hour every single time you get a new coaching member to add them to your CRM, give them all the relevant files, send off that initial welcome email, stuff like that. Instead of you doing it manually, you could just create an automation to do all of this instantly. And this is where the time saving benefits actually come in. Let's say you're onboarding 50 clients a month, 3 times 50 by half an hour. It means you'll be saving 25 hours a month just by implementing a simple automation to take care of your onboarding process. Now, this is just an example, but imagine this across all the different departments in your agency, like onboarding, sales, fulfillment, content, team management, customer success. You'll see all these different small time savings will start to stack up. And that's when you'll start seeing the real savings gain from automation. So that's the first benefit. The second benefit is the scalability. Now, Alex Hormozi is a massive entrepreneur in the space, and he always says, do the unscalable. And I 100% agree with this. When it's just you and a couple clients, it's 100% fine for you to be doing all the unscalable things, going to the world and back to give them the best possible experience. We've all done it, and there's no shame in that. However, once you actually start scaling and actually growing your team, you'll see you're going to have a lot of clients that are demanding results without any delays. And if you don't have a skill-proof system to actually accommodate those clients, then it's going to lead to nothing but unhappy clients, chargebacks, and bad reviews, which you obviously don't want. Now, automation is not the only solution to your problems. Realistically, you're going to have to tie in a lot of different systems and a really, really good team. However, using automation and systemizing different processes to set up a skill-proof agency will help in actually reducing this as much as you possibly can. And the last benefit is the experience. Now, this is tied into the last point. However, using automation, you can actually improve the experience for your clients and your team, which are equally as important as each other. For the clients, by implementing automations in different processes in your agency, you can decrease the number of delays. You can have that constant communication within your clients, always keeping them in a loop. You can have consistent quality in all the work you do at a better actual quality, and you can achieve faster results for them. This will lead to better relationships, which is very, very important in the agency space, which in turn will lead to a higher monthly recurring revenue if you have that recurring model. In terms of your team, implementing different automations for your team will be able to decrease their workload. It will allow them to actually focus on the key skills that they're actually good at rather than the stupid admin tasks that they have to do. And it will create a sense of consistent quality across everything that the team does. And it will provide them with all the tools that they actually need to succeed in their role. This has two benefits. Firstly, it will allow them to provide a better experience for your clients, which will lead to better relationships and a higher monthly recurring revenue. But also, it will allow you to actually grow your team and build a really, really strong team of killers. If you look at all the billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, they always emphasize how important having a strong team is. And once again, I'm not saying automation is the only solution to that, but it will help you in order to improve that experience that you're actually providing for your team members, which will make them more likely to actually stay at your agency. Now, we've talked about why you should actually use automation. Now, I want to get into how to figure out what to actually automate. Now, guys, with today's technology, there's literally nothing that you cannot automate. The possibilities are endless, but just because you can automate something, it doesn't mean you should automate something. And this is very, very important. I'll give you an example. About 90% of all customer success management can be automated. Now, that sounds crazy, but it's true. But it doesn't mean we go around for all of our partners and automate all of the customer success management because it wouldn't make sense. At the end of the day, we're agencies. So that human relationship you have with your clients is still very, very important in 90% of cases. The key principle we're actually going to be following throughout this whole video is another quote by Alex Hormozy, which states that you shouldn't automate what you should systemize. So please, please keep that in mind as we're figuring out different things we should automate and how we can actually automate them. For example, let's say you have a process where when you first sign on a client, after 30 days, you write them a note. Now, you could send them a generic email that gets sent out every 13 days, but that kind of reduces the effect. Everyone knows it's a generic email that everyone gets, so it doesn't really mean much. On the other hand, though, if you were to create a systemized process where at the end of 30 days from a client being onboarded, it sends a notification to a customer success manager to write a handwritten note personalized for the lead and actually ship it to them, that creates two completely different experiences. So just an example, but a very, very key principle that we need to follow throughout this video. Now, let's get on to the big question. What should I actually automate? So the way I'll be splitting this up for this video is two different sets of things you can do. You have the $10 an hour tasks and you have the $100 an hour tasks. These ones are very, very easier to actually set up. There's a lot available and they're very, very beginner friendly. The $100 hour tasks are much harder to actually set up. They require a bit more planning, but they're extremely high leverage and can lead to massive time savings and benefits for your agency. In this video, I'm also going to focus on those $10 an hour tasks just because this is a beginner tutorial. If you want me to record a more advanced part 2 to this video, then leave a comment below and I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. So we've understood that we need to find some of these tasks to actually automate, but how do we actually do that? It's very simple, guys. All we're going to do is over the space of a week or a month, if you want to be extra, you want to journal everything that you do. I'm talking about literally everything. So for example, 11:30 to 1:30, you have a client meeting. 1:30 to 2:15, I'm updating a CRM. The best way to actually do this, guys, is to set a timer every single hour that goes off. So you actually physically have to write down what you're doing. This is much better than just doing this at the end of the day because the reality is you're going to forget some things. Once you've done that for a week or a month, once again, if you want to be really, really in depth, you want to go buy a highlighter from the store and go over your journal and highlight all the tasks you can outsource for $10 an hour. Now, I'm not talking about automation here. I'm just talking about the tasks you can actually outsource for $10 an hour. So don't think of this from an automation side of things. Think of this as you're hiring a VA. You want to come in and replace some of the things in your agency. Some examples of this could be sending reports, updating CRM, sending template emails to clients. But the key things I want you to pay attention to is tasks that are repetitive, one, and secondly, tasks that happen on a regular basis. Because these are the key tasks that we're actually able to automate. Now, once again, I'm not saying that everything we write down will actually be any automating, but from this list we created, we should be able to get some ideas on different things that we can automate within your agency. If that doesn't work, you still have no idea of different things you can automate, firstly, congratulations. You have a really, really good schedule. But don't worry, it's not the end of the world. I want you to go through all of your agency processes like onboarding, fulfillment, and content creation, and highlight all those tasks that are firstly repetitive and secondly happen on a regular basis. Using these two different methods, you'll have more than enough ideas on different things you can actually automate from a beginner standpoint. Once we have your ideas, we actually need to choose an automation tool. Now, if you don't know how automation tool works, all it does is just repackage different APIs from different companies. APIs is how different systems basically communicate with each other. The two main ones are Zapier and Make. Now, there is a massive debate about which one is the best. In all honesty, we use both. It's just up to preference. If you want my honest opinion, I think Zapier is a bit more beginner friendly, but it is a bit more expensive. And Make is slightly cheaper. You can do a bit more with it, but it is a bit harder to learn at the start, anyways. I don't have any affiliate links, any sponsorships, or anything like that. That's just my honest opinion, guys. Another thing you could do, which will make your life much better, is using an interface to actually host these different automations. But don't worry, guys, I'll explain that later in the video because that comes in how you can actually tie automation within your day-to-day life. Cool. So we've gone over why you should actually use automation, how to find out different things to automate your agency. Now I want to talk about how you can actually use automation in your agency. Step one is very, very simple. We want to choose our platform. Now, this is the automation platform I talked about in the previous step. Like I said, the main ones are Zapier and Make. If there's any other popular ones that you know of, make sure to leave a comment below and I'll make sure to check them out. Most of these software have 14-day free trials or free plans. So I always recommend you to actually test them out for yourself and find the one that actually fits your needs better. Once you've gone ahead and actually chosen your platform, it's time to optimize your process. Now, this is extremely important for large automations, but it's still relevant for smaller automations because it'll make your life a lot easier in the process. There's a beautiful quote by Bill Gates that basically emphasizes how automation applied to inefficient process will do nothing but actually magnify the inefficiency. And this is a very, very key principle we stick by over here at Fluxomate and all the different automations you create. So before you run off and actually create some sort of bootleg automation that's not really going to last and it's actually being used, I want you just to take 15 minutes and just lay out everything clearly on what that automation actually does. Have a clear SOP of what you need automation to do. And think of this from a future. This isn't something you're going to have active for a month, hopefully. This is something that you're going to have active for a very, very long time, running consistently every single day, depending on the different tasks you're doing. So put some thought into it because trust me, guys, it'll save you a lot of time in the future trying to fix up automations that are not really useful. If you want two examples of how you can actually break down complicated processes like your sales process or your onboarding process, you can check out these two videos right here in the description. Like I said, first thing we do when we actually onboard new clients is spend a whole week really understanding their business, breaking down all the different processes so we can actually be ready for automation. So I can't emphasize how important this step actually is. Once you actually optimize your process and choosing that platform, it's time for you to actually start automating. Now, I understand automation can seem a bit intimidating at the start, but honestly, guys, especially for small automations, they're very easy to actually set up within any of your accounts. On my YouTube channel, I have about 100 different tutorials going over different things you can automate with step-by-step guides, free resources you can just copy from me. Using this with a combination of ChatGPT, you become an automation wizard in no time. I know that sounds like pretty generic advice, but honestly, guys, this is the exact same way I learn automation by watching YouTube videos and just trying it out. Best advice I can give you is pick any one of my automation tutorials and try to build them live with me to overcome any hurdles. And then just pick any random processes that you think you can automate and go ahead and actually try to automate it. Now, you're going to feel a lot of time, you're going to come over a lot of hurdles, but it's all possible to figure out, especially with ChatGPT. I'm telling you guys will become an automation wizards in no time. Now, in this video, I was going to go over automation example, but honestly, I don't think it's worth it. In reality, using these platforms, they make it very easy for you to actually create automations and launch them within your agency. So the best advice I can give you is just to try it out. And if you have any questions about any problems you're having, you can drop a comment below and I'll help you out myself. Cool, guys. So we've gone over why you should use automation. We've gone over how to figure out what to actually automate. And we've gone over how to actually automate the different things we came up with in a previous step. Now is time to show you how you can actually integrate automation within your day-to-day life. Now, this is not as important when it comes to a couple of small automations. So if this is you, where you want to automate a couple of things, such as when a new lead comes on, updating a CRM, or just sending free lead magnets to your leads, this is not as important. But when it comes to larger automations, where you're setting up a ton of different systems, your agency, then this is where an interface will come in handy. Now, an interface can be anything. It can be a CRM, it can be a project management tool, it can even be a Google spreadsheet. The key thing you wanted to do here is trigger different automations, track different automations that are happening, and most importantly, store key values to link different automations together. Now, once again, guys, I want to be very, very clear. This is not required, especially for small automations. But if you're building really, really authentic and useful automation systems, then it's not necessary, but it will make your life a lot easier. And just to show you how much of an important role this plays in our agency, if you go over to our accelerator program, which is the main offer that we're actually running for our agency, before we move on to anything automation related, we spend a whole month setting up an internal platform for our clients. If you haven't already, I would suggest checking out the video explaining why no-code internal apps are the best solution for your agency. And by the time you're watching this, I should also have a 1 hour video going over how to actually set up a project management system for your agency completely from scratch. This is the longest video I've ever released on my channel, and I actually recorded it yesterday. So if you check out the top right hand corner, by the time you're watching this, it should be out. This will make your life a lot easier and will really, really allow you to tie in automation to all the different things you're doing within your agency. And guys, that's pretty much it. That's an agency's guide to automation. I purposely kept this as short as I possibly could because I didn't want this to be a long video that just waffled on for no reason. The main reality is if you actually want to start using automation in your agency, first figure out what you want to automate. And secondly, set up a really, really good plan for the different things you want to automate. And once that's all done, guys, you just need to try and actually start automating different things. With all the different tutorials we have on the YouTube channel and ChatGPT, it's very, very easy to bring your ideas to life, especially when it comes to the smaller things and beginner tasks, which are only 1 to 2 steps and fairly, fairly simple to connect. Because at the end of the day, all you're actually doing is connecting different applications together. So a complete beginner should be able to complete all these automations without any help. If you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, make sure to leave a comment below. I'm more than happy to actually help you guys out. I say this a lot, but we're a very, very small channel. So if you drop a comment, we're 100% going to see it and give you an in-depth response on how we can actually help you out. If you want access to this mind map, you can check out the first link in the description for the free digital product. So if you want to reference it in the future, it's easy for you to just zoom in all the way and see all the different things you created. And that's about it from me, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe and let me know if this video has been useful. Automation plays a massive role what we do over here at Fluxomate, but it's very, very important that you do it the right way. Because if you don't, it can actually lead you to more headache than time savings, which you obviously don't want. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think of this and different things you're planning on automating within your agency. And like I said, if you have any questions, make sure to drop them below in the comments because we're here to actually support you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.